Also die Diskussion ist wunderschön und wir haben jetzt die Chance, ist in Shanghai im NIO-Haus gerade präsent, William Lee, in diese Diskussion mit einzuschalten. Ich weiß nicht, ob das jetzt klappt von der Technik her. Hier war ein Signal, dass es möglicherweise sein. Ja, William Lee is available.
Yeah.
It's a great chance.
Hi, Professor. Can you hear me? Thanks for the invitation. Hi, Holger. Nice to see you.
Hey, William.
Hey, how are you?
好久不见啊
Yes, thank you. And very glad to attend the conference. William Lee, and I will speak in Chinese. Ruohe, my assistant, will help me to translate. Hi, everyone. Very glad to attend the conference.
Okay.
Professor, please.
So thanks. We have also a Chinese-speaking woman, a lady with us. It's Beatrice Frisch, and she will assist us because she speaks Chinese. However, she has also a lot of experience. She had been more than 20 years with different car makers in China. So welcome, Beatrice.
That's great.
非常对不起你，我们让你等那么长的时间了，而且我们也是在这里讨论的比较长，而且我现在不当一个翻译，我也跟你采访一点而且如果我们有什么一个问题，我们也可以讨论。
Thank you.
非常高兴认识你，非常高兴欢迎你们来我们这里是比较一个 digital 的一个方面。
Thank you very much.
Bea, du musst uns jetzt übersetzen, was du gesagt hast.
Ach so, ich habe. Sorry, I just bet him apologize then because we were a little bit late and it is already about 10 o'clock in Shanghai in the NIO house. So of course somebody like William, who is the founder, chairman, and CEO of NIO, is a very, very busy man. So from this aspect, I just bet him to apologize that we are a little bit late.
It's okay. It's not so late for me.
Okay.
By the way, his English is perfect. He's just too shy. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
So, should I start with the first question? Or,
Yes, no, you start.
So, you are in a NIO house. A NIO house is something new which you invented for your customers. If we look at customers in Europe, you are in Europe, in Norway, in Germany, in other countries, but also, of course, in China. What is the difference between the Chinese and the European car customer?
在我来看，并没有什么特别不一样。我们在中国当然用户要多一些，在欧洲我们刚刚开始，我们前年开始在挪威交付车辆，去年我们开始在德国和另外的4个国家交付车辆。欧洲的用户确实比中国的用户呢，从年龄的角度来讲，平均年龄要大一些。大概在中国我们的用户平均年龄差不多37、8岁，那么在欧洲的话呢，差不多在45、6岁。除了这个以外，他们都是很相似的，都特别拥抱创新，喜欢新鲜的这样一些科技，对这个可持续的发展都有这个使命感。总的来说，我不觉得有什么特别的不一样。
To be honest, I think that there's no major or fundamental difference between users in China and users in Europe. As you may know that we have entered into Norway market in 2021, and last year we have entered into Germany and another 3 markets. So now we're offering products and services in 5 European countries. If you look at the average age of our users in China, on average, they're around 37, 38 years old. And for our users in Europe, they're a bit older than our users in China, actually around 45 to 46 years old. But in addition to that, I don't see any major difference between users in China or users in Europe. Actually, users from both markets are open for innovative ideas, technology advancement, as well as sustainability.
Thank you. Talking about differences, there is, of course, going directly into some tougher questions. Looking at prices, we just talked about, and unfortunately it was in German, so we apologize again. We were talking about the price war in China, but then it's, of course, talking about prices, differences. In China, for example, an ID.3 from Volkswagen is sold for a cheaper price than it is in Germany. And if you look into for example, the ET7, if you see the prices in China, that is cheaper in China than it is sold in Germany. So is it, so coming to the European markets, is that then a better margin market? So would that lead to a further increase of even more Chinese companies and OEMs coming to China, to Germany?
Yeah. 事实上来讲，我们的定价原则是按照全球统一定价，因为我们到欧洲去的话有关税，另外还有一些运费，所以总的来说的话呢，可能看起来是比在中国的售价要高一些。但是我们事实上来讲，目前来说，在欧洲的产品的毛利比在中国还是要低一些的，并不是说我们在中国卖的要便宜一些，在欧洲卖的要贵一些，主要还是税收和运费的关系。当然，我们也希望我们有足够的量以后，能够早一点在欧洲本地生产，这样的话，在关税和运费方面就能够好一些。我们的原则还是全球统一定价。当然，如果去看的话呢，在中国确实制造成本还是有一些优势。我们也看到了有一些中国的公司从中国出口到欧洲去以后，他们加大了他们的毛利，可能比中国要高一些。但对 NIO 来说，我们是一个全球统一定价的原则。
谢谢。
Actually, for NIO, we have adopted a global unified pricing principle, which means that our prices in different markets and countries will also be based on the same basis. But of course, when we ship cars to Europe, we have also to add tariffs and also logistic fees. So the prices in Europe is slightly higher than the prices in China. But in generally speaking, we adopt this unified pricing point. Of course, in addition to that, we do see that in China, for the manufacturing, there are more advantages than in Europe. So the manufacturing cost is cheaper here in China. That's why for some OEMs from China, when they ship cars to Europe, they do have a higher margin. But for us, we actually adopt a global unified pricing logic.
Okay, so one specific point of NIO is, of course, the swapping station. I would just have a small conversation between the two gentlemen and you, Mr. Lee. What are your experience on swapping stations in Europe? Is that an approach which could be profitable and manageable and sustainable for the future, or is this just for China? And also to Dr. Steiner, you tell us a little bit about Salesforce and all these things. What do you think about, because you are very fast in recharging the battery in 2 minutes or in 3 minutes, and what is the point of a big supplier like ZF?
Let me perhaps get started, William, because we had a discussion like 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
Yeah, and I was questioning how many batteries does he need to keep this
system running?
The system running, because I was like, okay, you need at least 2 batteries, or 3 to make it happen. But William, you told me it's 1.2. And this was quite a surprise, and I didn't fully understand it yet. But William.
Yeah. 对，事实上来讲，我们确实在换电的 battery as a service 这件事上，我们是有非常多的创新。我们已经给用户提供了2100多万次换电的服务。我们在中国，在全球现在已经有接近1400座换电站。刚刚过去的这个中国的5一的假期，我们有一天大概提供了7万次的换电服务。这总的来说，我们已经证明了换电是非常受用户欢迎的。当然，从我们来讲的话呢，我们一直说的是 chargeable、swappable、upgradable。那我们一直都是根据用户的场景去提供最好的服务。我们在中国事实上也是安装充电桩最多的这个公司。那我们也这个刚刚发布了我们500千瓦的超快充桩。所以事实上来讲，我们一直都是用各种方法去解决用户的这个家电方面的需求，让他们的家电的体验能够比加油好。从这一点上来讲 ，NIO 的用户的满意度还是非常高的。
In fact, for NIO, we have this innovative business model as well as technology that is power swap and also battery as a service. So far, we have already provided over 21 million swaps for our users, and we now have almost 1,400 power swap stations worldwide. In the Labor Day holiday we have just experienced here in China, in a single day, we have provided over 70,000 swaps to our users. So Power Swap is well received and also welcomed by many of our users. But of course, our power solution is not just for swapping. We also have chargeable, swappable, and upgradable as the principle for our solution, which means that it is always based on the scenarios, and it is always for the best interest of our users so that we can find the best service for our users. In addition to Power Swap, we also install a lot of chargers in China and worldwide. Actually, in China, we are the car company with the most chargers installed, and we've just released our 500 kilowatt superchargers, which can further improve the experience of our users. That's why we would like to with chargeable, swappable, and upgradable, we can provide a recharging experience beyond refilling. With that, we can also improve the user satisfaction significantly.
刚才 Holger 说到，我们要多少周转电池去支持我们的换电的服务。我们刚刚发布的3代换电站，大概是20个电池包，这个21个电池包，我们这个大概能支持最多大概1000个用户的日常的换电的需求。所以如果简单去算的话，差不多就2%的周转电池就能够满足这个换电的这个需要啊，所以实际上它的效率是非常高的。
As Mr. Holger has just mentioned about how many batteries we need in the circulation to sustain our power swaps and the operations. Recently, we have just released our 3rd generation power swap stations, Power Swap Station 3.0, and each station can accommodate 21 batteries, and each station can serve the needs of around 1,000 users, which means that for each station, we only need around 2% more batteries in the circulation to keep the power swap running.
我想说这个换电有很多好处，我不想做太多的广告，但我想强调2点。第一个的话，能替用户省钱，用户不需要去平时如果他每天只是上下班用的话，他不需要去买一个大的电池包。像我们刚刚过去的5一的假期，我们就给几万用户提供了那种临时升级的服务，从75度电池包升到100度的电池包。那如果他回来以后，假期回来以后，他要再回到他的75度电池包。那当然从另一方面来讲的话，能节约非常非常多的资源，这一点是非常重要的，大概能够节约17%的资源。如果这个大的电池包在车上并没有用的话，其实是非常大的资源的浪费，所以能替用户省钱，并且能够节约资源，这个是非常重要的。
Actually, there are many benefits and advantages with the power swap. I don't want to oversell this idea. However, I would like to emphasize on 2 benefits of power swap. The first is saving money for our users, because if our users are only driving the EV for the daily commute, but from time to time they may need to have a bigger battery pack for the long getaway or long distance trip, then they can choose to upgrade their batteries to a larger capacity flexibly. Just like the Labor Day holiday here in China, many users have chosen to upgrade their batteries from 75 to 100 kilowatt hour for the holiday and for the getaway. And when they come back to the cities, they can then swap back to the 75 kilowatt hour battery. And the second benefit of power swap is saving resources, because for our users, if they are only driving the cars for the daily commute, they don't need to bear a very big battery or a high capacity battery. With that, we can save around 17% resources.
巧妙的地方在于，我们所有的电池包都是一样的大小 ，almost 一样的重量。里边如果是 LFP 的，就是标准续航75度电池包；如果是 NCM 的，就是100度电池包。我们马上2个月以后，我们会交付150度的半固态的电池包。这个当然就满足3%、5%的场景的需求，所以 upgradable 是换电这个体系最大的优势之一，能够替用户省钱，而且能够节约资源。
And the real beauty of power swap is that all the batteries, no matter which chemistries you're having inside of the battery, they're of the identical geometry, identical dimensions, and also similar mass. For the 75 kilowatt hour battery, we have LFP as the chemicals. For the 100 kilowatt hour battery, we have NCM as the chemistry. And very soon, we will also release a 150 kilowatt hour battery, which is a semi-solid state battery to satisfy the very rare needs of our users, like 3 or 4% of the needs for their daily use. With that, we can actually realize a very flexible upgrade of the batteries.
So Dr. Steiner, sounds interesting. It seems to just some kind of how to say it, range extending system. It's not a system in which he just is changing the batteries, just some kind of range extender, if I understand it, and then he just needs 2% more batteries. So could that in your mind a business approach for European car makers?
So from my perspective, for sure, you know better in China, I think this depends also to customer preferences and culture. First of all, for Porsche, we would like to have the very best technology in the car. So in terms of super fast charging, but also in terms of the overall package in the car. You know, or you might know about the foot garage. So you could have a really low, sleek silhouette and still have in the passenger seat a good ergonomics. If you would have a standardized battery, at least the passenger seat would suffer in terms of vehicle integration, weight optimization, power, and also super fast charging capabilities. We think for a sports car, a luxury car, a unique battery would be best. On the other hand, you could win flexibility, like you mentioned. You could run the car with a small battery during the weekend, on weekends with a big battery. But if you would do so, and a lot of European customers use their car on the weekend for travel, and during the week for the short distance, you would need by far more than 2% of batteries with the big size. And customer needs are different. Our experience with the Taycan, where we have 2 sizes of batteries, is the huge majority of customers in China goes with the small one. They stay more or less with the big mega cities, drive a lot of short distance drives. On the other hand, in Europe, the majority takes the big battery. So from my point of view, it's an interesting concept. Could save on primary CO2 footprint, having a small battery, but having the flexibility to get more range. But this always goes with some disadvantages also from at least a sports car manufacturer's point of view. But I wouldn't say this is not a smart idea. This is a smart idea. It depends from my point of view to markets and maybe also to segments. So for small cars, it could be a good idea to standardize and swap. For sports cars, it will not make its way from my point of view.
Yeah, so standardization would be interesting. Dr. Klein, standardization, then I think on trucks. You're doing trucks. Could that be interesting for truck industry?
We actually do have examples in China as well, where the swapping takes place. I think, William, you correct me, it's with CATL and FAW.
Yeah.
And funny enough, it's about the decarbonization of a transport line where they transport coal. Yes, so they decarbonize a road where heavy trucks are transporting coal. So yes, that can happen. For us as a supplier, that's honestly less relevant how we are structuring our portfolio. We are happy if a truck is fueled with hydrogen and they burn it, because then we need our transmissions. We are happy when a fuel cell comes to play, because then we sell our e-powertrain. And we are happy when the ICE is still with a longer life in that regard. But it's indeed a consideration to do the swapping if you have those routes, these defined routes.
Yeah, so interesting topics. Bea, we have some other questions from your side?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, on one hand side, we were talking about the batteries and design. That leads me as well. You're sitting, as we already informed the people, in the NIO house in Shanghai. Behind you is the bookshelf. People might think, what is that? Some of the people don't really know the NIO house concept. Yes, you said there are already some in Germany. The NIO design is very specific. On one hand side, because of the direct customer approach. NIO was, I think, one of the first ones to have the direct sales to customers in the portfolio. But coming about the design, when I was working with other OEMs, it was very much about, oh, if you go to China, you need to have Chinese designers. Or if you are in Europe, you need to have European designers. I know that NIO does have at least one design center in Munich. So how do you handle that? Because the cars, to be honest, I think they're beautiful. I like them. I'm obviously European, while Ferdi always says I'm born in China. But yeah, how do you handle the design issue, as we talked about the difference of customers in Asia or in China and in Europe?
确实这个观察的非常的仔细。NIO 从2015年成立的时候，我们就把自己定位为一个 global 的 startup， 所以我们事实上在2015年我们就在慕尼黑成立了我们的设计的团队。我们的 logo， 包括我们公司的名字。包括我们的车都是最早的这些车都是在我们慕尼黑的设计团队去做的，他们保持了非常高的一个水准，确实给我们赢得了非常多的这个用户啊。那我们现在我们在慕尼黑的设计团队有接近200人，当然我们在中国也有一个100多人的设计团队，我们整个的设计团队有将近300多人啊，他们都是非常不错的一些同事，非常天才的一些设计师。那我们从设计的角度来讲的话，我们尊重我们自己的 DNA， 这个 pure human progressive sophisticated， 这个是从我们公司的一些 value system 去发展来的。所以从 NIO 来讲的话，我们是希望能够把最新的这样的一些技术，比如说 AD 的技术我们的座舱的这样的一些技术，能够和车的这样的一个产品能完美的去融合起来。我想我们的团队做的是非常的不错。
You've made a very interesting observation. It is true that from day one, since our establishment in 2015, we have defined ourselves as a global startup. That's why in 2015, we have already established our design team in Munich. Actually, our logo, our English name, even the early models of NIO were designed by our Munich design team. And now we have also around 200 designers in Europe, in Munich, and also around 100 designers in China, in Shanghai. So far we have a team of around 300 designers working for our products, and they've been keeping a very high quality of design. With that, we have also won the hearts of many users with our products, and we are very happy and glad to have these talented designers on our team. But in the meantime, when it comes to design topic, we always have high respect and also always stay true to our design DNA. Our design DNA is pure, human, progressive, and sophisticated. So we always stay true to these 4 words as our design DNA. In the meantime, we are also very bold and pioneer in adopting new technologies like autonomous driving or latest technologies for the cockpit, which means that we always try to explore an approach where we can combine the latest technologies with our design and our design DNA.
Thank you.
So,
ending on this note, I just read the number that in Q1 2023, you increased your sales numbers by 20%. And knowing that the Chinese name of NIO is Weilai, I only can wish you, which means future, I only can wish you the best of future. And Mr. Steiner is not listening. Good luck.
Thank you very much.
So, I think it was a closing remark which we had. It was a market share you announced about 20% around 2030 in the premium sector, in the premium market on a worldwide basis. Just 2 comments from your side. How do you want to achieve 20% in a worldwide car market for premium cars? What is the role of China in that portfolio, Europe and the US?
Let's confirm question. 不说错了。是2030是吧？是2030是吧？对。 对，我们当然这是一个长期的目标啊。那我们现在离这个目标还很远，但如果我们就看一些好的这样的一些趋势的话，比如说我们在今年的1季度，我们在中国的这个应该说从消费的风向标城市，比如说上海，我们在上海市场的份额，我们已经差不多已经到了这个份额了，所以这当然只是刚刚一个开始。所以我们想 step by step， 我们在中国的1线城市，中国是全球最大的市场，我们希望在中国能够先实现这样一个目标。当然我们在别的地方可能需要更长的时间，但是 anyway， 我们相信这个 step by step 我们是有这样的机会。
Of course, for this 20%, it is more of a long-term target for us, which means that we also need to make long-term planning. But starting from this year, we already see some positive signs. Like in the first quarter, in the bellwether city of the consumption market, that is Shanghai, we have already realized a 20% share in the premium segment. So we start with the first-tier cities in China, then we gradually expand into the entire Chinese market, which is also the largest automotive market in the world, and then we enter into more and more markets and regions worldwide. So we are taking this approach step by step to realize that target.
从我的角度来讲，好的产品、好的服务、充满活力的社区在全世界的用户来说都是有吸引力的，所以我们一直都 focus 在自己的产品、服务、社区。我们相信，虽然今天在全球这样一个政治形势下，有很大的挑战，但是我们相信好的产品、好的服务是能够被全世界的用户认可的。
And as we always believe that good products, good services, and also vibrant communities are appealing to users worldwide, that's why we've been focusing on improving our products, services, as well as our community. Of course, against this global backdrop, it's not an easy thing, but we believe that with that, we can realize this step by step.
So, thank you very much. It was very interesting to have that discussion with you, and with you, Mr. Lee. It was a great discussion.
Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone.
Okay, so
thank you.
All the best to Shanghai, and we are in Germany.
Welcome to Shanghai.
Okay.
Welcome to Germany.
Sure, I will be there. Thank you.
Okay, so thank you and bye-bye.